Now I've had the Tevo up and running. I've run a few prints through it. I'm having a little bit of a problem with the prints sticking. They are really hard to remove. So you can sort of see a little bit of staining here. So what I've decided to do is make a modification, which is just simply a glass mirror cut to size and dropped in position. Now this is what I'm referring to. There's my little benchy that I printed out, and yeah, look at that for the bottom. I'm using a mirror and I've got a little glass cutter. This is an oil filled one, so hence we need a bit of oil. This is really very old vintage oil. It's ancient. It's it's probably 50-60 years old, so it's pretty old. You'll need a tape measure, which I've got, again, an ancient one. All my equipment seems to be ancient these days, still got inches on it. And something to sort of scribe a straight line along. Now the heat bed itself on the Tevo is 220 by 220, so obviously 220 by 220. It needs to have a line scribed on it. So with the little glass cutter, you just unscrew, put a little bit of oil, a couple of drops in there, or so the theory goes. The first thing we need to do is obviously measure the glass. Now my glass that I need to cut, or the mirror, is 220 by 220, and all I've got is a rather large texter, which is not ideal for marking, but it'll do the job. So basically you just simply measure out 220, and we do the same on the other side. 220. Just make certain it's correct. Right. And as I said, you really do need a smaller texture than the one I've got here. Just it's a bit on the large size. That'll do it. There we go. Okay, now that I've got it marked, we turn it around. I'm using obviously this, which is just at a level I've got laying around, and we will line it up, the actual glass cutter, with the edge Okay, that's pretty good. Put a bit of pressure to hold the glass in place. With the glass cutter, hold vertical, or just off vertical. Put even pressure on it. And scribe through. And that's basically all you've got to do. And at the next stage, we'll just slide this out of the way. We'll put the glass on the edge, right on the edge like that. Put your gloves on, because you don't want to take a chance on injuring your hands. It's the last thing we want to do. Let's slide this up a bit more. And put the glass so you can actually see it break. Oh, it's still in the way. Oh. Running out of space. Okay. Yep, that'll do. Then you just grab it, put an even pressure down, push it down evenly, and that's it. And as you can see, it's cut. Now I'll just push this all back again and take my gloves off. Now what we do to separate the glass from the back, and the actual mirror backing. Just get something sharp and simply scribe along, and there you go. Simple as that. I mean, you can't get any easier than that for cutting glass or mirrors. I'm very impressed with this diamond cutter. Now we'll get on to the next stage, which is cutting the next little bit, and funny enough, 220 again. So we'll do basically the same thing. Position that there, grab our marker, measure out 220. Same again, 220. Yep, 220. Exact same scenario. Turn it into a position that you're comfortable with. Grab the cutter and just do a positioning so you've got it just so she's in the right spot. Okay. Yep. Again, oops, I wobbled it, darn it. Reposition again. Yep, that's it. Put a bit of pressure on it. Again, hold it down. Clean scribe along the edge. Move all this out of the way again. Again, put the mirror along a nice clean sharp edge. Back on with the gloves. When you're playing with glass, you can never be too careful. It's the last thing you want to do is cut your hands, especially unnecessarily, just for the sake of a couple of dollars in the gloves. Okay, move that across again. Where are we? There we go. Give or take just on the edge. Yep, that'll do. And again, even pressure, push down, and that's it. It is that easy to cut the glass. You can't get any easier than that. And we'll just run this through. And there we go. Nicely cut. We'll test it and see what it looks like on the bed. Hopefully it'll work. And there it is. Cut away. Nothing to it. Really, really easy. Amazing how this contraption works. Yeah, absolutely amazing. Very, very happy with this. It's not expensive. It's quite a cheap one. It's one of the cheaper. Oh God, I can't get it in front. Hang on, we'll try it. There we go. That's better. It's one of the cheaper glass cutters I've ever owned. It's a little diamond type one, and I'm wrapped in it. It works so easy. First time, every time. It's brilliant for the cost. And if you're interested in getting one, I'll have a link below for you. And here's the glass mirror itself. Pop it in, slide it over, see if it fits, and perfect fit. Look at that, beautiful. I'll just pop a couple of little clips on here to hold it in place. I need to adjust the end stops, which are just at the back here, so I'll do that shortly. And I suppose I should really talk a little bit about the glass cutter I've got. It's quite inexpensive. They're a oil-filled one. You can pick this up from GearBest if you like. Not too bad. You just unscrew this little section here, put a few drops of oil in. Don't need much, don't have to overfill it, and you just hold it straight down, scribe across in one clean sweep, and cuts perfect, as you've seen in the video. I'm quite impressed with this. It's the best glass cutter I've ever had, and it's also one of the cheapest. Go figure, eh? Now what we've got to do is adjust the lead screw itself. We just screw it up and down a couple of times. That way the nozzle itself is just touching the glass bed, So you adjust the end stop, which is in under here, just 2 little bolts. You just simply loosen them up a little bit. And once they're loose, you just slide it up into position just so you can just barely hear it clicking on and off, so you know that you're in the right spot. I've already positioned this, so just tighten them up a tad. Where are we? There we go. That should be about it. Yeah, and let's continue. Now that I've got the glass itself in position, and we've got the clips, one front and one at the back, I can now use this as a removable bed, so that when the printer's on here, if it sticks to the glass and I can't remove it easily, I'll just pop the glass off, put it away over on the bench, grab another glass sheet, plonk it on, and I continue printing, and then I won't have any issues, I hope. We'll find out shortly. I'm going to prepare the mirror surface with a mixture, or a solution I should say, of just a bit of PVA glue that I've got laying around, mixed with water in a little jar so it's quite liquidified, and just a little brush. And the theory behind all this is that the glue itself will give a nice layer for adhesion. It'll take a few coats obviously for it to settle in, and as you can see it's all over the joint at the moment. This is basically the first coat, so we'll let it settle in a little bit. I'll let it dry a tad, and then we'll add some more to it shortly, and I'll keep adding a little bit at a time until I get an even coat across it all. Yeah, to get it to dry a little bit faster, I'm just going to select control down to temperature and the bed, and I'll just pop it up to, I don't know, maybe 45. We don't want it too hot, but 45, and that'll aid with the drying of the glue that I've got across there. And shouldn't take too long, and I'll keep coming back. I'll pop in and out a couple of times with the video till we get it right. That didn't take too long. It's starting to firm up nicely, and as you can see, as I start to bring the brush across, we're starting to get a consistent layer through it, which is looking good. Not far off it. Obviously heating the bed makes a huge difference. You can see now the glue has almost completely dried up. There's still a couple of little patches in here, and we've got that little film across the glass, so it'll give us a really, like a mirror finish when the print is completed. And I reckon, looking at that, we're pretty well ready to go. Let's press a few buttons here. Let's go to prepare, home all axes. It's always a good start. There we are, printing quite nice. Zoom out. As you can see, it's the Tevo Tarantula.